Companies don't release credible, useful, value-relevant financial reporting, investors can't really determine, can't really make good investment decisions, and then that could be very detrimental in their, financial decisions. So researching those determinants and consequences, so like cost of equity, cost of debt kind of thing, that is my main research area. Secondary research interest is accounting education, because I know that for some people, not me, for some people, accounting is kind of dry. A lot of topics are very, very number heavy. But when you think about stories behind the numbers, accounting is not always dry. So I'm researching ways I can teach, better ways to teach accounting, and a little more engaging, more fun, things like that.
And what are the most important lessons you try to impart on the students before they join the accounting business world? What do you think are the most important lessons that they can learn while they're still in school?
Well, they're still in school in accounting class. Yes. I think the first thing they can think about is, accounting. You're definitely going to use big accounting data system, but then behind that, those numbers, there are people, right? There's the numbers are not generated kind of automatically. There's a decision making involved. There's a judgment involved. So you always need to think about better ways to correctly, accurately, reasonably represent transactions and financial events into accounting numbers. So I think that's the thing that you can learn from accounting classes, importantly.
And finally, what would you recommend to universities who might be undergoing an auditing process?
Who might be undergoing auditing process, financial auditing process?
Yes.
I would say, from my auditor work experience, when I meet a client who has a good data keeping system, that's the best case scenario, because when I ask them, this important transaction that happened like 5 years ago, can you give me some data, some document describing that thing? Some clients have that, some clients don't have that. So good record keeping system, that is pretty important.
And what exactly, obviously Marymount, a very attractive location, also, in my opinion, very great students.
Good students.
What in particular drew you to become an assistant professor here at Marymount?
I would say the most impressive part that I got from the whole interview process, the recruiting process, was this collegial environment, collegial atmosphere that you can, feel from the get-go. It is very, very, open discussion environment. So I really valued that one. And as you said, great location. I'm like, great, this is my school. So I came here.
And, obviously as well, being a part of a small campus, how often do you run into any students you might have in your classes just around the campus?
Well, all my classes are actually in Boston Center, so I don't come to main campus that often, but in Boston Center, because accounting class students, they take finance classes at the same building, and, other management classes, business classes in the same building. So I do run into, my students in the Boston Center a lot.
And just to wrap things up here on the Day of Giving, what sort of goals might you have should the accounting department reach the financial targets that we have set today that you look to impart on the program going forward?
Say it again?
What sort of things do you look forward to using the money that might be raised today on?
I think one of the things, if we're just focusing on, say, accounting department, the CPA license is pretty important. So any kind of exam prep work that we can kind of support, that would be really great.
All right. Well, Dr. Kim, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us here on this Day of Giving. And we'll be back very shortly for an end-of-day recap to go over how much money's been raised.
Thank you.